Hello, it's Erin again, and coming to you with my 8-day post-op update. Yesterday I had my 1-week post-op appointment with my surgeon, and she said everything looks great, and I told her about my issues with the calcium and the dumping and all that stuff, and so she informed me to go ahead and just wait a few weeks for those tablets and then try them again, because the brand I got is Twin Lab, and she said that that's a really good brand for bariatrics, so go ahead and try them again later. So in the meantime, I got those yummy, they're almost like Starburst, those calcium chews. I bought them from her office, and they're so yummy. So anyways, a couple things I wanted to talk about was, I was continuing to watch some of the videos of people I'm subscribed to, and a lot of them talk about how they've been heavy all of their life, and after they've lost like 100 pounds, or when they've lost a significant amount of weight, and they've gone down to the size, for the regular sized people, or whatever you consider regular, like small, medium, and larges, and they don't quite understand the mindset of the fact that they've lost all that weight and now they're no longer heavyset or obese, that they can actually shop for these clothes. And I can almost identify with them, but it's kind of the opposite for me, because I haven't always been heavy. I actually used to be slim, and before I put all this weight on, it's been 10 years now since I started, 11 years now since I started putting on weight slowly. I weighed 130 pounds in 2003, and I wore a size 8. I was feeling pretty good, and of course I had lost weight to get down to that size. It was an unhealthy way that I lost weight. I must confess that I am a recovered addict, and I used to use methamphetamines, and my ex-husband and I, we used to fight all the time about it, because I stopped and tried to get him to stop, and he wouldn't stop, and so I started again, and I was 160 pounds, and so things that he said and the way my clothes felt, made me feel fat and self-conscious. So I said, what the heck? I did dope again, and I got down to 130 pounds. Then I left him, I got clean, then I got a second job, and so I ate a lot of fast food the first couple years that I was single. So that contributed a lot to my weight gain. And of course, for a while there, I was substituting my addiction with food and alcohol. So I was drinking a lot. It came to a point where I was drinking on a daily basis. I wasn't drinking at work, but I always had something to drink every night just to go to sleep. And that was my first excuse. And then it became fun going to the bars every night. So when I realized that my drinking was starting to become a problem for me, I slowed way down. And of course it was after I met my current husband that I decided to slow down. He got to a point where he was worried about me. But even though I slowed down the alcohol and I started eating better, the weight still wasn't coming off. It just kept going and going and going, and here I am, almost 11 years later, having to do the RNY gastric bypass to try to make a difference. So that was a little bio about myself. Not a tragic story because I survived and everything's good now, and anyways, don't want to go into all that. So let's see, I wrote down a few things I wanted to talk about. Oh, so back to the clothes, buying the clothes. I get sidetracked, I told you that before. So back to the clothes. So, people forget when they go into the store, they go straight for the plus size section when they don't realize, hey, I should just start with the regular size section. Well, when I started putting all that weight on over the years, I had a hard time moving away from the regular section to the plus size section. I catch myself once in a while too, even still when I go to the store to look at clothes. I'll see a cute top, I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I'll hold it up and I'll hold it against myself. I'm like, oh yeah, no way. So, it's hard for me to see myself fat. When I look in the mirror, I don't see all this, unless of course, I look in the mirror naked, then I'm like, ooh. But my brain is set on slim, where a lot of people's brains are still set on fat, so I feel bad that people can't see how beautiful they are. Of course, they're beautiful even when they're heavy. I think just being slim brings more of their inner beauty out, and they just don't see it. And I wish they would. I really wish they would. So, I still consider myself, I never considered myself beautiful, but I always consider myself pretty, at the very least. And I still think I'm pretty. Didn't do anything with my hair, no makeup. I'm still okay with the way I look. The reason I went through the bypass surgery wasn't for my looks. It was for mobility and the ability to go out and do stuff. I used to be very active, like walk everywhere. I used to go for bike rides. I used to be able to hike, and I used to be able to sit on the floor cross-legged. Not only can I not sit on the floor, but I certainly can't get back up off the floor by myself. So it's just pathetic little things like that that really, weighed on me when I was deciding to go through this process with the gastric bypass surgery. So, let's see. And with clothes, another thing I had a hard time with moving to the plus size clothing sections was, in order for me to afford the clothes, of course, you go plus size, they should put plus dollars on it too. Anytime you go to the store and buy plus size clothes, they're 2 or 3 times more than it would be if it was the same article of clothing in the regular size section. A tank top is, $5 or $6 for size medium, small, medium, or large. Well, you go in the plus size section, now it's $25 for one tank top, and it's ridiculous. And not only that, but most tops, especially the dressier ones, clothing makers, they assume that women who are fat have huge boobs. I don't have huge boobs, and I know I'm not the only one. So, that's it. Since I've lost the few pounds I've lost, of course my boobies are going down, but they're not very big. So I'll get a top that fits me well everywhere else, but then it's baggy in the top and it looks all frumpy, or I have to pin it closed, and it's ridiculous. The shirts you've been seeing me wear on here are just plain old t-shirts, or they've been given to me, because I refuse to buy clothes that are expensive. And at this point, since I've had the surgery, I won't be buying any clothes, especially from a brand name retail store, until I've at least gotten down to a regular size. And of course, you know, I still have some of my old clothes that I wore, so I may not have to even buy anything, at least not for a while. I guess that makes me a bit of a hoarder, but you know, it was high hopes of getting back down to that size someday. And the mindset, of course, you know, you get rid of it, that means you've accepted that you're never going to get down to that size. Well, I've never accepted it, so. So let me give you my stats. Like I said, I am 8 days out from surgery. It's Tuesday, May 6th, and my surgery was on April 28th, and my highest weight was 258.8, and my weight the date of surgery was 246.6, and yesterday when I weighed myself in the morning, it was 236.2, so, or no, 0.4. So I've lost a total of 10.2 pounds as of yesterday, from the date of surgery. I think it's like 22 pounds from my highest weight, which I bounced up and down from before the surgery. And I was weighing myself every single day, and I decided I don't want to be a slave to the scale. I started to at first, but, you know, because I was trying to see something change, so hopefully I can get to a point where I'm weighing myself once a week and not every day. But it's kind of hard not to, especially this early in the game when, you know, so much is coming off so fast. But we'll see. Now, another issue I had, I think it was Saturday night. Well, in a previous video I told you how I hung out with my mom one day, and well, she was trying to get me to eat chicken, and I was like, Mom, I can't have it. And she said, oh, well, can you have grapes? And I'm like, no, I can't have it. And so we went to the dollar store, and she bought me some sugar-free candy. She was, well, here, since you can't have all that, at least you can have some sugar-free candy. I'm like, oh, thanks. You know, I had a piece here and a piece there. Well, I was struggling to get my fluids in Saturday, and I thought, okay, well, if I suck on some candy, you know, it'll give me some flavor, and I'll just down some water. Well, I had 4 pieces in a row, and I had to run to the bathroom a few times. And then, of course, I look at the package, which I didn't do beforehand. It says, excess consumption may have a laxative effect. So, my advice to you today is, even though it says sugar-free, read all of the package. Read the labels, because had I known it had a laxative effect, I probably would have thrown it in the trash already. But having one here and one there is okay. But, you know, I had one right after the other. And apparently, you know, if it has a warning like that, it's gonna affect us who have had gastric bypass a little more, or a little more extreme than it would be for anyone else who hasn't had the surgery. So, let's see. The other day I walked a mile with my husband. I need to start walking every day, which I will do. You know, I think I'm going to go back to work tomorrow because I'm tired of sitting around the house. It's hurting my back, it's hurting my neck, and I'm just feeling lazy and don't want to do nothing. So Tomorrow I'll go back to work. I work for a construction company, so I'll take my breaks and I'll go walk around the yard. You know, my lunch I'll come home and I'll eat. But I get 2 breaks a day, and walking around a couple times a day I think is good. And I'm going to go down to the gym today and see what's new there, see if there's any new classes that are there, because I'm just a member of a small gym, and you know, Zumba came for a while. It was there for like a year and a half, but then, you know, it wasn't steady, so they canceled the Zumba classes, and they had a weekend, oh my goodness, I forgot the name of it. Oh, a weekend boot camp, you know, and I tried that once and it was great. I was sore for like a week, but I guess they didn't have enough show for that class, so they canceled that too. So I haven't been there for a year, so I'm just going to touch bases and all that, and I'll give you an update on how that goes. I'd like to start going again before work. Well, I think that's it for my update. If you guys have any questions, you know, leave me a comment below. Subscribe. Alright, so until next time.